Welcome students. This video we're going to cover some basics of adding dimensions to your drawing. You can see on my screen here I've got a dimension drawing. We've got numbers around our front and our top view, and they give viewers information about how big these features are. They also give viewers information about where these features are on our part. So as we're dimensioning things, and again, our puzzle cube is pretty simple. We'll keep that in mind. Our dimensions should show the size and the location of different objects or features within that object. Right? So I've already got this purple part done. I'm going to do two dimension drawings in this video. I'm going to do a simple one, then a little trickier one. I don't know if I mentioned, I'm not a fan of the Windows 11 buttons. All right, we're going to start off with the simple one. So I've got this L-shaped object here. In the previous video, we talked about how to get these views in the correct spot. I did give some feedback to a handful of students in class about their views not being correct. So again, your front view should be in this lower left-hand corner. Your top view always needs to be above it. Your right side view should be to the right, and your isometric should be up in this space here. And this is just kind of like when we write on our papers in the English language, we always start at the upper left-hand corner. We always go left to right, and we always go top to bottom. It's a standard rule. This is our standard rule for creating technical drawings. So if your front view is anywhere but this lower left-hand corner, and your top view is anywhere but this upper left-hand corner, you are not doing it correctly. You are not doing it to that standard. Come talk to me if you need more info on that. I'll exhale now. I'm done with that. Hopefully your drawing looks like this. Dimensions are going to be pretty simple if they do. All right, my strategy is I always try to do the length dimensions first, then I do information about the height, and then the depth. Right? Most of my length and height dimensions can be put on this front view. Okay, so I'm going to click on the dimension tool, and I'm going to start off by dimensioning the shortest feature. I'm going to go from the left edge to the end of the shortest feature. I'm clicking on each of those corners. I'm going to drag my dimension up. Now, as I drag, you can see it snaps, and I'm going to click once to set that dimension. Right now, there's only one more feature I need to dimension from the left side to the right side. How long is this? Right. I could use that dimension tool again, but I want you to get in the habit of using this baseline dimension tool for your second dimension. Right, so this dimension is going to be my baseline. When it says select base dimension, I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to come to this far corner and I'll click. Right, I like this for two reasons. One, it puts them in kind of a standard order, and two, it gives them a nice standard spacing. So you can see on my screen right now the spacing between the 2 1/4 and the 3/4 inch dimension looks pretty equal. Right, now it is a little tricky because I got a few more mouse clicks here before I'm done. I need to right click after I place that dimension, and then left click on OK to exit from it. Right? If I just press the escape key, I'm going to lose this 2.25, and then you got to go put it on again. Right? Not the end of the world. You'll probably do it once or twice. I know it happens to me quite a bit, but just something to be aware of. Right? So I've got the length. Now I'm going to do the height. I'm going to start at the bottom of my object, bottom corner. I'm going to dimension to the next corner, the next feature. Then I'm going to drag this out till it snaps into position, and I'll click. All right, that's it for my first dimension. Then I'm going to go to baseline, and I'm going to pick that first height dimension, and then I'm going to come up and click on the next one. Right? I only have two dimensions to put here, so I'll right click, left click OK, and I've got all the height dimension for this object. Okay. Last one I need to do is the depth. Okay. I can dimension the depth on the top or the left, or I'm sorry, the right side view. I want to try and do it in between adjacent views, just like I did the length dimensions in between the top and the front side that show info about the length. I want to do the depth in between the top and the right side view, so to speak, where it gives me info about it. Okay. Since I've got this isometric kind of sitting above the right side view, I'm going to put my dimension over here for this one. So I'm going to go to dimension, click the two corners. Okay, and now I'm going to snap it out till it goes to that first one, and I'll click to set it. Right, my first dimension here should line up with my first dimension underneath. Okay, this one looks good. When I check your drawings, I'm going to look for, do you have the overall length, height, and depth of your object? We do on this drawing. do you have the overall, or not the overall, but the length of any features and the location displayed, right? And I do here because I know this edge is the edge, that's 0. This is 0.75 long, right? So if I want to know where this corner is, I could just subtract 0.75 from 2.25. I know this section here is 1.5 inches long. Right. So I'm going to look for those dimensions. I'm also going to check and make sure the majority are in this area. They're in between the adjacent views. They're either to the right of the top view or the top of the right view. I shouldn't see, now there might be some cases, but I shouldn't see a lot of dimensions around the outside edge of your drawing here, especially with these simple shapes we're doing for our puzzle cube. All right, so I'm going to switch to my yellow piece now. This one's a little more complicated. So we'll go ahead and get started here. My computer's being glitchy. I'm not sure why it's still got these boxes around. So I'm going to go to the dimension tool. And again, I'm going to start at the far left-hand side. I'm going to go length first. I'm going to dimension this object. I'll pull this up and outside of my object until I get that snap to show up, right? I don't want this 0.75 to be down inside of kind of the envelope of the object. I want it outside. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the dimension tool and I'm going to come down to baseline. I'll click this. Now I can click this corner and then I can come over here and click on this corner. You can see where this would be useful if you've got a lot of spots you wanted to dimension to. After that initial click, it's just one mouse click to each corner. I'm going to right click on OK, and I've got my 3 length dimensions set. Okay, now I'm going to dimension the overall. I'm going to dimension the height. I guess I'm not going to do the overall first. I'm going to start from the bottom, go to the first feature, pull it out till it snaps. Right, and then I'm going to grab the baseline tool and get the overall. So I'll click this first dimension. I'll click the top. It projects one out. Right click, left click OK. We've got those set. Okay, now this one is going to be kind of an exception to that rule. I said I would expect to see most of my dimensions in between these views. This one here, since this end feature is on the left-hand side, when I go to dimension the depth of this object, I might do this one. Right, I guess I will, and pull that dimension off to the left-hand side. And then instead of using my baseline tool, I'm just going to come down here and click on this, and I'll snap this dimension off to the right-hand side. And so I don't have extension lines unnecessarily crossing my whole object here. Right? So that's the basics of dimensioning. You're going to use the dimension tool. If you've got multiple along the same edge of an object, you're going to use that baseline tool to add these to your drawing. Right? Once we get this complete, we'll talk about how we can print these in class, and you are getting very close to being finished with the Puzzle Cube problem solving process. We still need to collect some data, but you're getting very close to being finished.